Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, Kevin. We are hosting a new show. This is a little bit of a different show. It's the Chelsea Fan TV preview show, where we basically talk before each game, giving our opinions on what we think is going to happen, what could happen, and just the build up as any fan would do it before any game. You make predictions, you have thoughts and feelings. Obviously, this is a special one. We're about to play against Liverpool this Sunday, and it's a big one, people. It's a big one. Not just because of the football, it's the first game of the season. I mean, look, Kev, you came to a couple of games with me last season, man. It was painful. It was painful. But yeah, good to have you on, mate. Good to have you on. How are you?
Brilliant, brilliant. Good to be on. Good to be on, and it's good to be a part of this new show. Um, Obviously, onwards and upwards, our first one, and hopefully we can be talking about some good results on a weekly basis, and not like last year when I came to the few games and literally wanted to walk out. Walk out at half time. That's how bad it was getting. But from what I can see, pre-season, Pochettino's got the smiles back on the faces. A few players, Mudryk being one, you can see that he's got a smile back on his face, and the talent there, the talent's there. But I think it's time for Pochettino to unleash the talent, and it's getting playing with more confidence, and that's what I think Poch will bring to the table.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's talk about what's relevant at the moment because I mean the podcast's going to come out tomorrow, but right now it's a Thursday evening. So, I mean, there's been so much news today, mate. This isn't too much to do with the game, but it does correlate, mate. Caicedo and Lavia. I don't know where this is coming from, mate. I mean, we had a 48 million deal, uh, £1 million bid rejected from Southampton,
Yep.
which I kind of, yeah, that's an interesting one. And then obviously Liverpool have come in, and apparently they're very, very keen, and they're willing to potentially break their transfer record of over
Yeah.
75 million to get Caicedo in. I mean, they have a pretty poor midfield in terms of what they should have. So I guess the deal makes sense for them just as much as it does for us. But I mean, how
Yeah.
important is it that we get these deals sorted before the game? And who do you think is going to come out on top with the signings?
It's Thursday night now, so they've literally got tomorrow and Saturday to
Mm.
embed these. If we
Mate, we've
do
seen
sign them,
deals happen quickly, though, haven't we? We've seen some
yeah,
quick
yeah,
deals, Kev.
yeah, we see them happen pretty quickly. But I think right now we've had all this time for the pre-season to get them done. So why leave it to the last 2 days? We know Brighton's valuation is £100 million. We know the valuation for Lavia, I think it's been taken £60 million. So why are we offering less? Just pay the money that the teams want and get them in the door. I think with the Liverpool stories and the Caicedo, I think it's pretty. It's come out just a bit ago that it's lies. I think it's a bit fabricated. What you'll find is Brighton or this Fabrizio Romano will just put it out there that Liverpool have put a bid in just so Chelsea pay the extra. Liverpool want to pay £95 million, and what I've seen is the highest bidder will get the player. What you'll see them is it will create a bidding war. So it's probably fabricated so Chelsea just pay the money. I think the Caicedo deal is more or less done. I think it's a matter of probably £5 or £10 million. That's it. Brighton are holding that. Chelsea don't want to pay. It's very stubborn, but why leave it till Friday, Saturday when we could have just paid the £5 million last week and gave them a
Mm.
whole week? I
I
just
mean,
don't
I
get it.
mean, to be fair, Kev, I actually don't have a problem with the way we negotiate for Kaiser. I think we've been all right. Like, let's be honest, he's not worth 100 million. Let's not take the piss. I mean, Brighton, look, they're getting a great deal out of it. And just like Southampton holding out for about 50 million plus add-ons with Lavia, Brighton want to get their money's worth because it's not easy to get good players on the market for cheap, and they keep managing to do it, and then they're selling it on. They did it with Cucurella, and now they want to do it with Caicedo. And I mean, we were stubborn enough to barely negotiate before. So I respect the fact that at least we're trying. If things don't work out, that's fine. But actually, we can say it's not our own fault. It's because Liverpool were putting the pressure on as well. And obviously, we didn't want them to beat us to it. to Caicedo. I mean, but I don't believe in all that brown envelope stuff. I mean, look, there's bits and bobs where I'm sure maybe some things are right and some things are wrong. Everyone has their own agenda. Like I don't know the int and out. I'm not really into the politics of it. But I don't think that Fabrizio Romano is spreading lies. I think the interest is genuine. I don't think they've submitted a bid, but I think that it is genuine. And when Liverpool come up on the radar, they're serious because they don't spend a lot of money anyway. Obviously, they've signed a couple of players. They signed McAllister from Brighton. They got 35 mil. I mean, that was cheap. And then they also got that guy from was it Leipzig? I can't pronounce his name, Kev.
Salvazetzi or something like that. It looks
I'd love to know how
like
accurate that is.
it looks like I'll just say it looks Salveski or something in the lines. Austrian. He seems a good player, technically gifted, wicked left foot. But I don't know anything about him. Like Alex McAllister, he was a very good player last year for Brighton. We all know what he can do. But like you said, they are short. They've got rid of 3 midfielders: Fabinho, Henderson, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and Milner as well. So 4 of their experienced players have gone in the middle, and they've already brought 2 in. So it was tight that they wanted Lavia, but they haven't gone in for him. I think that will be it for him. I think they'll get Lavia, and we'll get Caicedo. Either so, if Lavia comes to us, we'll get the other. So it's just whether he wants to. If I was Chelsea, I'll get Caicedo. He's better than Lavia, but Lavia is not a bad second choice if that was to be an option.
Yeah, mate. I remember when he came to the Bridge, he was class, and obviously he scored against us in the away leg when we lost 2-1. But I mean, just moving on. Obviously, it's going to be Poch's first Premier League game, first competitive game with Chelsea. I mean, how do you think he's going to get on? How do you think he's going to set up the team against this Liverpool side? Obviously, look, there's obviously a bit of speculation. We still could make a signing or two. But how do you see us setting up?
Oh, now Nkunku's it's totally through a spanner in the works. I was so excited to see Nkunku and Jackson and Mudryk and Sterling probably in the right. That's what he probably would have been. But Hugh's going to play in the Camp Nou. We haven't got another attacking midfielder, so it's really hard to choose. It's probably going to be a Gallagher and Enzo in the pivot, attacking midfield. Ooh. Who we have? We've got no one else, and you'd have Mudryk on the left, Sterling on the right, and obviously Jackson up top. But I've been saying from the start of pre-season, if Nkunku gets injured, who are we going to bring him? And he's out for 4 months, so we haven't got another replacement. Mount's gone.
Look, one of the positives of Nkunku not being fit is it gives Mudryk a start, because we all knew that Nkunku was going to start ahead of Mudryk. Obviously, he got benched a fair amount in pre-season before Nkunku got injured anyway. Still had some great moments, but like you could see Nkunku has it, whereas Mudryk still needs to prove himself a little bit, because although he was great in Ukraine, I mean, he didn't hit the levels that Nkunku hit in Germany. So completely different scenarios, completely different players. Both big signings though, so I mean that they've got to produce the goods. I think Mudryk has got to start against Liverpool. He has to start. You can't start Sterling, Kev. I mean the performances we see in pre-season, it's
no, bad. but who would you start on the? So obviously, I'm saying that the formation, what Posh is it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. So obviously Mudryk could be on the left. You'd have Sterling on the right. I'm talking about the AM behind Nicholas Jackson. Who would you play behind Nicholas Jackson?
I can't even think, to be fair. I think I think that I know people take the piss, but I do think Gallagher had a good pre-season. I think that he deserves minutes in the Prem, but I don't know if I want to see him against Liverpool. But then again, Kev, listen, if none of us sign Caicedo or Lavia by the time we play Liverpool, by the time we play on Sunday, we both have bad midfields. It's not just us; they don't have a great midfield either. So they lost Fabinho, Henderson, Milner, you name it, mate. They didn't just lose quality; they lost leaders. So I know we're struggling for leaders as well. Obviously, Reece James is the new captain. Completely the right decision, by the way. I would have been very surprised if anyone else became the captain. People are saying that Thiago Silva should have become the captain, but how can you make him a captain ahead of Reece James when Reece James has just signed a new long-term deal? He's going to be with the club for a long time. He's been with the academy. This is his club. Absolutely, Thiago Silva deserves to be captain, but he's got maybe one more year at best. I mean, to be fair, the way he's been playing, Kev, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to extend it again if he had a good season, even if his minutes are limited. He just brings so much into the team. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you do mention Nkunku, it is an eye opener. You're kind of forced to play players like Sterling in that sense. But I mean, he doesn't deserve the minutes. I just don't see it. For me, he just doesn't show enough. But I think one thing that Poch did get right, I think it was when we played, what was the last game we played? Dortmund. When we played Dortmund, we played Sterling on the right. It was his best game in pre-season. Still underwhelming, but it was his best game. And I think one of the things that at least you'll get when he plays on the right-hand side is on the left-hand side, he messes around. Does he go on his left? Does he come in? Is he going to pass backwards? Is he going to try and shoot? He's got too many options, Kevin. He never picks the right one. So at least when you're on the right-hand side, you're either going to do two things. You're either going to run down and cross the ball, or you're going to pass it back. Because Sterling can't really dribble and then go in on his left foot. He's not got good enough left foot. So the options are limited, and I think that it simplifies things for him. And it needs to, because, I mean, he's been so underwhelming. I mean, we could talk all day about how bad Sterling's been. And I know it's not good to call out players straight away. I mean, the season hasn't even started, but I don't have hope for this guy. I don't have hope.
I don't. It's not just Sterling though. Right now, as we speak, I haven't been happy with the transfer dealings at all. This transfer window.
That's harsh though, Kev. Because
no. It's been abysmal. Like again, we gonna go and sign some guy from the Brazilian league. I think his name's Williams, or I don't know what his name is. Why are we going for all these young players when we need quality depth players? And Nkunku's out now till next year. Where's our attacking midfielder? What we need now to cover for him? Where's our DM? Where's our covering centre midfielder for Enzo? Like, where are these players coming from right now? Like I said, let's go back to the Liverpool game. Who are we going to play in attacking midfield now? And Nkunku's out. We've got rid of Mount. We've got rid of Havertz. We've got rid of all these attacking midfielders. Who are we going to play?
Well, Kev, there is one player who has potential. We don't know really where he fits in, but we know that he can fit in a lot of places, and that's Ian Maatsen. He had a bloody good pre-season, and to be honest with you, Kev,
he's not a cam. He's not a cam though, isn't he?
Kev, he can. Kev, if you did you watch any of the pre-season games? I know it's quite late.
I've seen some. He is good. He is good, but he's not a cam. He's not a cam.
Well, he's a left back, but he can play as a left wing or right wing, and I'm sure that he can fit into a role. Yeah. I mean, worst case, you try and adapt it and maybe put Sterling in behind. But
but why should we be playing players at position when we can go out and spend money on getting a proper replacement for Mount? Why we still haven't replaced Mount yet? Where's the replacement Mount? Because Nkunku wasn't brought in to replace Mount. We need a replacement for Mount. We need a cam. I don't like to be negative about stuff, but it will show on the weekend. If you're playing Maatsen or you're playing Sterling and Cam, that's not going to get you assists. It's not going to get you give you the quality Nkunku has.
We got that American midfielder Adams from Leeds, 20 mil. I mean that's a good deal. So
he's not fit though. He's not fit. He's not fit.
No. But when you talk about replacements for Mount and things like that, I mean we are bringing.
He's not a cam.
Players in.
He's not a cam though, isn't he? He's a centre.
I know. But the midfield. But you also, Kev, you got to bring into consideration the system, right? The system Mount would have played under Tuchel and Potter and Lampard. Well, barely played under Lampard. They're different to what Poch was looking for. And I'm sure Poch had plans for Mount. I think we all know that. We all knew that. But our priority's got to be a defensive midfielder first and foremost.
I think that's sorted. That's sorted. I think that the defensive midfield sorted. We're getting to get Caicedo. It's going to happen. But what I'm trying to get to is We've been linked to numerous attacking midfielders. We need to go and get one. Simple as that. This guy, this Ryan Cherky, we've linked to him. Let's go and get someone to replace Mount. That's all I ask. Because I said it I said it a couple of months ago. If Nkunku gets injured, who are we going to replace him with? I was talking about Madison.
I would have taken
As
Madison. He would have been a
a
good signing.
Good, it would have been a good replacement, Mount. He's gone to Tottenham. And put it like this: if Kane stays, I can see them both. I can see at least 10 to 15 assists.
We're being linked with Elise from Crystal Palace as well. I mean, that's a potential. No, but he can certainly play a more central role, and from what I've heard, we view him as a player who's more capable of playing centrally.
Yeah,
I mean, if you've got the ability, you've got the ability, Kev. It doesn't matter. Like, let's be honest. Reece James was a midfielder, and he became a right back. Players can adapt. Players can change.
Of course,
half the time.
I understand what you're saying. There's adaptability in positions. Like Phil Foden, for instance, can play left, centre, right. I agree what you're saying, but we have got enough depth out wide. We don't need to sign a right winger to play cam. Why just not go out and get a cam?
Well, it's about who's on the market. If it's not the right fit, why would you spend money on a player that isn't going to work out? That you might as well buy another Ziyech, Kev, in that case. I mean, that didn't work out. He wasn't the right player. He was on the market and he was decent, but he didn't suit Chelsea. He was never going to suit us. I mean, the way we play, first of all, we need to figure out how we're going to play. I mean, I can't really judge. We know that Poch wants to press. He wants to play attacking football, but what do I really know? I mean, you don't really know until December, January, Kev, how you properly play, because you need to watch a run.
We've kind of seen during pre-season what we're going to be doing. I think Nicholas Jackson's going to be Nicholas Jackson's going to be a massive part. He's going to play a massive part in how we want to play and how Mudryk and every players at wide will be coming inside, linking up. So we never had that last year. That's one thing we never had. We never had a striker who was going to drop deep and link the play up. I think that's exactly what we're going to be seeing this year. But I still, not sorry to be negative once again, but I'm still in doubt on how we're going to get assists from the attacking midfield position. I think out wide, we've got it covered. Jackson, we've got it covered. But we need someone in that little gap to link the play up. So we've always had it. We had Matters, we've had Hazards, we've had Oscars. We've always had a good cam. And Nkunku's out now. Who's going to play in that position? I think once we resolve that issue, obviously it's going to be a high pressing, attractive style of football. And like I said, Jackson's going to play a massive part in it with the link up play. But we still need a cam. I think once we get that resolved, we can then see a bit about how we're going to play moving forward.
Fair enough. So, I mean, just to touch on the game itself. I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about transfers and players. Obviously, we're unlucky with Nkunku, who's going to play in that position. Just to finish off, I mean, I want to know who you think is going to play against Liverpool, and I want to know your predictions going into the game. So let's start with the goalkeepers. Is it Kepa or Sanchez? Who's your pick ahead of that game? Obviously, we just got Sanchez in from Brighton. Do you think he'll be ready to start straight away, or should we just stick with what we know?
Massive Kepa's still going to be around. Apparently, Bayern just put a bid in for him.
Mate, that's surprising.
Yeah. That and Real Madrid as well. So,
well, no, Real Madrid are interested, but Bayern have actually made a formal offer.
Yeah. I think Real Madrid will get De Gea. That's what it looks like. So, if Kepa's still there, I'll just go with Kepa. I think Sanchez needs to slowly come into it. I think in a few games' time, he will take Kepa's gloves off him. But for now, I think start Kepa.
Fair enough. Okay. What about back four? I think we can all agree it's going to be a back four. I think it's relatively simple. James and Chilwell on the flanks. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Silva in the middle. I mean, who would you play with Silva?
I'll go with Colwell.
Colwell, yeah, good shout. He's looked good in pre-season, hasn't he, mate?
Yeah. Colwell's he's looked good last season. He looked good during the Euros, and I think this is his time now. I think I was saying this 3-4 years ago when he was at Huddersfield. He is the next Reece James. He's going to be the vice captain in the 3 years. So I think now it's time for him. He needs to have the confidence now. He's just signed a new contract. I think it's time for him to learn off Thiago Silva. So to start him the first game, that'll give him the confidence to know that he's definitely part of the future plans, and he's good enough to start.
Fair enough. No, that's a good shout. I mean, that's a solid back four, mate. That's a solid back four. A bit shaky on the goalkeeper, but so far I think we're doing all right. I mean, and then we've got the midfield. I think we said it's going to be more like a 4-2-3-1. Obviously Enzo Fernandez. I think that's a no-brainer. He just needs a bit of quality around him. But who do you think is going to play next to him? I mean, we saw Santos. He looked good in pre-season, but he's so young. Is he ready to start in the Premier League? Obviously, Gallagher played in the pivot as well. Who can you see starting next to Fernandez? Or potentially, you never know, Caicedo or Lavia could come through the door.
This is the thing that I can't believe it's 2 days for the start of the season and we're talking about we've still got Conor Gallagher who's going to be starting the pivot. What can I say? Just hopefully he does well. It's going to be Gallagher and Enzo in it.
You think it's going to be Gallagher? Because I wouldn't
be in it. There's not. It's either Chukwuemeka or Gallagher. What he's going to pick Gallagher in it. And we all know Gallagher in the pivot's a recipe for disaster. He's ball retention scores not the best. Gives the ball away very cheaply. He gets dragged out positions too much because he's so enthusiastic. He wants to win the ball. It leaves too much defensive emphasis on Enzo. So that's where if we're not playing our cards, we're going to get struck on the counter. So I'd probably go with Chukwuemeka, but we know it's going to be Gallagher.
Mate, I think so. Now that you mentioned Chukwuemeka, he's the player that fills that void as a cam. And mate, he looked lively in pre-season. To be honest with you, mate, I can't think of many bad games he's had in a Chelsea shirt. He wasn't really given many chances last season under Potter, and when he was given a chance, I remember he got some minutes against Brentford away and Man City at home. I think we lost 1-0 in that game. And Chukwuemeka hit the post. He's a player who likes to shoot. He's got energy. He's positive. He's young. I mean, that's what you want to build your team around. So actually, going back to what we were talking about earlier with that cam, he didn't come into my head, but Chukwuemeka seems like a no-brainer as a cam. And then obviously with the flanks, I think we could probably agree on Mudryk. I think Madueke's not fit to play, so that's fair enough. And then I'm looking at Ian Maatsen as well as another option if Poch isn't feeling confident with Sterling. But I can't see that happening, to be honest with you. I think he's going to put his faith in Sterling, which is unfortunate because you have to. You're paying him so much money, but I do think Maatsen deserves the minutes based on the pre-season.
Yep, a couple of assists, a couple of goals. Looks lively. Everyone's saying he's the next Gareth Bale because he's started off as a left back and he can play right wing. Wicked left foot, got an eye for an assist. Not a bad player, but he's not proven in the Premier League. That's one thing we can say. As much as he's been good in pre-season and he had a brilliant season last year with Burnley, not proven. Sterling's a proven player, and I think Sterling's got to prove himself now. I think the window's still open. If Sterling gets a couple of games and he's not playing well, I'm sure we're going through Elise. We need more cover. But for me personally, it'd be Sterling on the right, Mudryk on the left, Chukwuemeka attacking midfield.
Okay,
we can agree on that. I think with that, Chukwuemeka, I think if we do get a bit, if we do get a bit overcrowded or outplayed in the middle, he can drop back and make the three. So we'd have Chukwuemeka, Gallagher, and Enzo making a free. Yeah. And then on the attack, he can join the attack and link up the play. So it's not a bad shot.
Well, hopefully it will be the other way around, Kevin. We'll be pressing Liverpool. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. And then I think no-brainer, Nicholas Jackson up front. I just love it if he got a goal, mate. Absolute scenes. First goal of the new season. Oh, man. After so many fucking terrible finishes, Havertz not taking his chances, Mount passing sideways. I just want to see some good football, Kev. But I think we will, mate. I think we will. I'm confident, man. But yeah, just to
yeah.
finish off, what is your score prediction for the match?
Oh, I'm gonna go with 1-0 Chelsea. I can't. That reason being, I can't see many goals in this game. It's been 0-0 for the last 4 games, back to back,
No,
4-0.
full
So
game.
I can't. Yeah, 4-0. It's been 0-0 for the last 4 games.
Really? When
No,
was
no,
that?
Stamford.
When
No,
was
no,
that
at
not
Anfield.
2-2?
No, no, at Anfield. No, no, at Stamford Bridge.
That's true.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no in the FA Cup final. No, no in the Champions Carling Cup. Whatever
Oh,
they call it.
damn.
So we haven't scored a goal in 4 games.
Mate,
So
do you know what? It feels like ages since that 2-2, where do you remember when we were 2-0 down? We conceded early goals and then we came back.
oh yeah,
Kovacic scored that banger.
Pulisic, Pulisic,
And then
Pulisic.
Pulisic scored as well. That was an
Yeah.
unbelievable game. One of the best atmospheres I've ever seen at the bridge after a goal, mate. Like that was limbs. But
That was the season before last, so quite a long time ago.
it feels like
Was it?
yesterday,
No.
man.
Yeah,
Feels like
season before last. Season before last. Yeah. So it
back in the
hasn't
good.
been a very. It hasn't been the Liverpool Chelsea of the past, Mourinho Benitez era. Not been many goals. Not been the best spectacle. But what I can say is, Pochettino is going to bring a new enthusiasm to the team. Hopefully, we can get the win. Can't see it being many goals. Like I said, I can probably see it being 1-0. And if I was going to go with a goal scorer, I'd probably say Jackson.
So
I
Jackson, fair
really
enough.
think I'd say Nico Jackson is going to get a goal. If we can get down the flanks, if it just depends where Trent's going to start. If Trent starts right back, I think Mudryk will get a lot of joy down at left hand side. So let's hope and see, and hope that we do get the 3 points to start the season in the right
Absolutely,
spirit.
mate. Absolutely. No, I to be honest with you, Kev, I'll probably go 2-1 just because I think maybe we'll have a little bit of a shaky moment at some point, and I can't
Yeah,
see Salah not finishing a chance. I think that if he gets one, he'll take it.
yeah,
But I think we'll score as well. I think we can create good chances. I think we'll create more than Liverpool. And I just think we have a little bit more quality, to be honest with you. And where
mm,
we've refined is in the attacking positions. That's where we're going to have new players that we didn't have. You know, obviously Chukamenga's going to get more minutes. Jackson, Mudryk didn't really feature too much last season. You know, so those are the players that are going to make a difference because we already had a good defense. I mean, our defensive record was decent.
yeah,
I think we might have a shaky moment just because look, Liverpool are a good side. Let's not beat around the bush, but I
yeah.
think we've got enough to win that game. But listen, guys, absolute pleasure. First episode of the Chelsea Fan TV preview show for the Liverpool game. Yeah, there's a few topics me and Kev don't quite agree on, but listen, that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about it, and we want to know what you guys think as well. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we're trying to get to 200k, so we're about 6k away from that. So smash the like button if you haven't already. And if you disagree or agree with any of our points, feel free to let us know why in the comments. But always a pleasure. We will see you very soon. We'll do fan cams for the game on Sunday, so check that out. And yeah, up the Chelsea.